The love story of Crazy Rich Asians goes beyond the romance on screen.
There's also the audience's love for the movie, specifically for Asians, who finally get the movie we want and deserve in the form of a charming rom-com.
Crazy Rich Asians has kind of got it all. It's fashion, it's food, it's hot Asian dudes, it's super extra, super wild, super fun. So it's more than just a summer rom-com.
So your family is like rich?
We're comfortable.
That is exactly what a super rich person would say.
How did you feel about it?
I really saw a specifically Asian love story. You know, the hot scene with Constance and Henry in bed. It was hot, but it was also just kind of regular. The insignificance of it is actually what's significant, because Asians just never get to exist as people.
We've been dating for over a year now, and I think it's about time people met my beautiful girlfriend.
There's something so heartbreakingly, specifically Asian about that love story.
I think it's this desire to not make a big deal out of devastation and sadness, this desire to want to save face, to want to uphold your family legacy.
All this doesn't just happen. It's because we know to put family first.
Shame is definitely something that unites so many different Asian cultures. Absolutely. I mean, in Chinese culture, saving face is called 面子. It's something that, you know, is kind of repeated to you forever since you're like a kid.
It just really speaks to the Asian experience.
Don't you want Nick to be happy?
I know you're not what Nick needs.
No. Those are a few fingers.
Asian men are often emasculated in Hollywood, so they're cast as, you know, the science nerd, never the romantic lead. We're often cast as, you know, tropes.
As these sort of emotionless people, sort of automatons in a way. It dates back to this history when Chinese laborers came to the US in the late 19th century, were forced to build the railroads and sort of like worked for these substandard wages. It was seen as innately revealing of our nature, that we were just kind of like worker bees devoid of personhood.
Representation truly does matter. And overall, I definitely say Crazy Rich Asians is a win for Asian representation in Hollywood. You know, it's the first Hollywood contemporary movie since Joy Luck Club came out in 1993, that was 25 years ago, to feature an all-Asian cast. The author, Kevin Kwan, is Asian. The director, John M. Chu, is also Asian, so we're behind the scenes, we're in front of the camera, you know, we're really owning our own story.
It's about time.
I feel like this brings us to that one problem with Crazy Rich Asians. Does it represent all Asians?
Especially with regard to the reality that the Singaporean elite do employ domestic help, largely from the Philippines and from Indonesia, and oftentimes those women are exploited, sadly. So there's been a lot of discussion about the fact that their stories could have been told as well. And I think that's true, but then again, you know, to argue with myself, I feel like that conversation can sort of become protracted because when does it stop? I think this movie was trying to tell one family story.
It really goes back to how we just don't have enough stories out there. There's not a diversity of these stories out there, so there's just so much on this one movie.
I know this much. You will never be enough.
We can't have nuanced portrayals of our stories until we have the one easily digestible story out there to begin with. So I think it's a starting point.
Yeah, it's for sure a springboard.
You know, I'm not saying I need to see my story specifically, but I think we just want to see more.
Yeah, we just want more.
And we don't want to wait 25 more years.
That would be nice.